I'm a true rebel here. We've got some new books. I went to Barnes & Noble. My identity has been challenged. I have some dangerous material I'm digesting. And in this video, I will also be speaking out against extortion and slavery, which are topics dear to my heart. We are developing a really cool process of unlocking our inner genius. I am a current student in studying material with Jim Quick, and was introduced to his material about 3 years ago, Limitless. I was also introduced at the time to the ultramarathon runner David Goggins, the Navy SEAL. And about 3 years ago, I was stuck in a college dorm room trying to figure out where my next meal was coming from with massive head wounds. I have multiple concussions. I've been trampled by a horse, etc., etc., etc. And so at the time when I read that book, I could run about 4 to 6, maybe 8 miles. And since then, in the last 3 years, I've been able to go my first ultra marathon, and now I'm retraining the marathon with weighted vests. And I've done other things as well, first responding training and stuff. So anyway, I've been pushing myself and enjoying it. And now I'm at a point where I get to create this YouTube channel, and we're fleshing out the concept of being a creative writer. I've published books and short stories, and I want to perfect the craft. And so one of the hardest things I've been trying to figure out is how to get my brain to focus and open the genius, to open the limitless part of my brain. And I just recently unlocked it. And it's super, super cool. In the front part of your brain is the mask. In front part of your forehead also is the part where your brain and identity kind of live. And I have figured out that by diving in behind my eyes, diving behind that mask, and just going for whatever it is that I sensed, illusion, whatever it is, just whatever I sense, go after it, and all of a sudden I'll have this huge creative potential. And it's limitless. It really is. Your brain is limitless. And so I bought some books. I bought Bulletproof by actual Special Forces lady. I bought Make Your Bed by an Admiral and a Navy SEAL. I bought a book by an artist, 100 Steps to Being an Artist or something like that. And then I bought a book about writing novels better based off of the concept Save the Cat. And what I'm doing is I just sit down, I read my Bible, and then I read these books, and I just read about 2 to 3 pages of each, or a little bit more if it's a really cool story. And some of the writing material I'm reading is pretty on fire, and you just read it. And the whole point of reading a book isn't necessarily to pick topics that are going to make you comfortable, but you want topics that make you feel dangerous, like the title, How to Make Yourself Bulletproof. I'm like, well, I'd rather not get shot at. I'm going to stay over here in Eugene, Oregon, and just try not to get shot at. But that's still a really cool topic. That's dangerous. Another dangerous topic is make your bed. I'm like, come on, dude. Why would I make beds? That's stupid. And so that was like a threat to me. It was like, make your bed, Austin. There was a book on the bookshelf, and I was like, no. So I bought it. I know. I'm an actual rebel. And that's how it works. And so I'm reading the content there, and the reason I decided to create this video is a really cool idea came to me. I mentioned earlier in this recording a video, I was going to speak about extortion. I'm actually experienced in extortion and slavery as a child. I was abused in a situation that I'm not going to go into, but it gave me a increased awareness of this problem. And I've tried to figure out how to be an advocate in the past for charities, but now I have figured out that I could just create content and talk about it in that way. And so I'm going to do that now. In the South Pacific, there are people who are being extorted, whole families, for clothing and for clothing brands like Nike. And that's something that's dear to me because I live in Eugene, Oregon. My family goes back a long ways in Eugene, Oregon, and that's where Nike started. And so there's videos on YouTube documenting the actual extortion and hate crimes against people of the South Pacific. And you can go on YouTube and look into it. So you just type in behind the swish, sweatshop, stuff like that. That's a topic that people are uncomfortable with. And I'm like, how do I be an advocate for this and actually engage people? And it hit me as I was reading these books, just a couple pages of each book. I can create a short story and an adventure that's cool to digest that speaks out against this problem. And I would not have thought of this idea if I hadn't gone to Barnes & Noble as a rebel and bought books that were dangerous. So that's the tip of the day. That's the lesson of the day for unlocking your creative genius. Be a rebel and go buy something that's dangerous. And ethically Think about it. Rebel. Don't hurt another person. Because I'm thinking like dangerous. Yeah, you can go do all sorts of stuff. But in a bookstore, it's kind of hard to hurt something when you're buying books, for the purpose of reading the book. So just be dangerous and think about it. And then put yourself in the shoes of the people that you wrote the book. Think about it for a couple minutes, and this is pulled back. And all of a sudden, you'll have a new cool idea that's got edge to it, that's got danger to it, something that would grip your audience. That's brilliance right there. This is the Writer Frontier. Thank you for listening. Be rebellious and dangerous. Happy writing.